Oh, what's up, guys? So in this tutorial, again, I'm here and we're gonna create this simple website using HTML, only HTML and CSS. And as you see here, I have designed a new logo for Joomla. And if you guys think that this is looking better than the one I'm putting on profile of YouTube right now, just comment down below and just say that put this one. And if you're someone who can create a logo, just create for me because I feel too lazy to do so. And as you see here, I have designed three login. These you can see these menus that have nice effect under this, and whenever we hover on, you can see that we have this line under there, which really look amazing. And we have also this H1 and P tag and two buttons under this, which is telling us to subscribe to children and watch more. These are going to do nothing for us because we are just going to do it using HTML and CSS. So let's create it that, but before we start writing codes, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one. The first thing I'm going to do here is to I've already created a folder here called simple website using HTML and CSS, and inside this we have this background image, which is exactly this background image that I'm going to use in this project. And if you want to use exactly this picture on your and you want to follow with the codes that I'm doing here, you can down I will leave a link in the description so you guys can also use it. The first thing I'm going to do is to create an index.html file. So inside this, if you're someone who is using Visual Studio Code, if you just type HTML and press on H5, this is going to generate this template for you. And here I'm going to change its title to simple website. So after that, in here I'm gonna create a container. So I'm gonna say container, and inside this container we're gonna create a navbar. So I'm gonna say navbar, and inside this navbar we have two things. Here you notice we have this logo and this menu. So I'm gonna say logo, and inside this logo we're just gonna pass a joy and learn and go away. And after that we're gonna create an unordered list. So I'm gonna say UI, and inside this UI li, and inside this li we're gonna create an a tag or anchor tag. It's going to refer to nowhere, and inside this we're just gonna path home, and we wanted to duplicate it. And if you want to duplicate something in Visual Studio Code, you can press Shift Alt and down, and it's going to duplicate anything you want. So this is going to be portfolio, and the next one is going to be about us, and this one is going to be contact us. So save it, and if you're using Visual Studio Code, this enables you to install extensions here. And here I have already installed an extension called Live Server. If you haven't this, you can search here Live Server, and if you be connected to internet, it's gonna bring out this Live Server and you can install it. I have already done that. It's an installation, have nothing, just click on install. It's going to install it for you. And when you install that, it gives you an option here called open with live server. So I'm going to click on open with live server. This is going to open our project in a website and a web browser, and you don't have to refresh your code here, your browser all the time to get the changes in. So after that, here out of the navbar, I'm going to create another div called content actually. Inside this content, what we wanted to do is to create an each one is and saying your design your website. And out of this, I'm going to create a p tag, and inside this we're going to say subscribe to joy learn and enjoy watching videos or tutorials. So now save it. There we have it. And at the bottom of the main project, you see we have two buttons. I'm going to create these buttons too. So I'm going to just say button, and inside this I'm just going to pass subscribe joy Joy Learn. So after that, I'm gonna duplicate this and change it to watch more. Watch more. That's all. So we're done with the HTML. Now we're gonna create it, do its style. So I'm gonna say style.css, and I'm gonna link our CSS with HTML. So at the top here, I'm gonna come and say link and say style.css. So now we connect with the CSS, and the first thing in the CSS I'm gonna do is to select the body. So I'm gonna say body, and inside this we're gonna set its margin to 0, and it's also its padding to 0, and its font family it's going to be this one. And we're gonna select the container, and we're gonna give it a width of 100% and a height of 100 VH, and its background is you know, as an image. So I'm just gonna say URL, and we're gonna give the URL of the background. So I'm gonna say background.jpg. Yeah, save it and go here. We should have it. So it don't look exactly as the main project. We're gonna fix it. So I'm gonna say background size. Its size is going to be cover, and its position is going to be to the center. Now it's looking the way that we want. The background is getting fine. I'm going to select the navbar. So I'm going to say navbar, and in the navbar we're going to give it a width of 100% and a margin of auto, and padding of 18 pixels from the top and bottom and 0 from the sides, and display to flex, and it's align items to center, and justify content to center, not center, a space between, sorry. So, and there we have it. We have this here and this here. We'll fix this later, but first we're going to work on a Joy Learn logo. So here I'm going to come and select. I stopped saying. I'm going to come here. So I'm going to come here and saying logo. And for the logo, the first thing we want to do is set its color to white, and its width to 120 pixel, and its margin from the left, margin left is going to be 30 pixel, and its font size is going to be 30 pixel, and font weight bold, and cursor to pointer. Now if I go on Joy Learn, you see that the cursor changed to pointer, and we have its font and margin and its color, all the things that we have done. So if you notice, this one is red, but here it isn't. So I can change it to the red. So how can we do that? Here in the index.html, I found that we have to select this exclamation exclamation mark. It is an I. So I'm just gonna create a span tag. So I'm gonna say span enable you to select something that you don't want to have, you know, you don't care about it being its inline and block. You just want to have access to that. So here I select the span, and in a p tag here, I don't know what was that. And I don't know if you guys hear that. So I'm gonna say logo, and we're gonna say a span, and from the span we're gonna set its color to the red. There, it changed. Now it's time to design a little bit this list that we have here. So I'm going to say dot navbar, and from the navbar select the li and ul and li, and we're gonna set its list style to none, and its display to inline block, and its margin is going to be 3 from the top and bottom, 0 from the top and bottom, and 30 pixels from the sides, and its position is going to be relative. So one more thing I have for you here is to learn about the positions, because if I explain the positions here, the tutorial will really get too long, but the position will enable you a position here relative, or relatively position the elements in your web page. So, and here I'm gonna say font width is going to be bold. So now they are looking like these, and it is as the same as this one. We just have to get rid of this color and underline. So I just come here and select copy all of these. I don't have mouse, that's the reason that I feel too lazy for copy and pasting, and select the anchor tag. So for the anchor tag, we're gonna set its text decoration to none, and its color is going to be black, and black, not black, and its font size, not font size, to 20 pixel. Yeah, it changed, but we don't have the effect on it, so we're gonna do its effect too. So I'm gonna select the copy. I have already copied that, and we're gonna say after this what we want to do. After this, we're gonna set its content to nothing, to an empty string, and its height is going to be 3 pixel, and its width is going to be 100%, and its background is going to be black or an RGB color. So I'm going to say RGB, and its red color is going to be 24, 114, and 64. Nothing is here because we didn't set its position, so I'm going to say position, and position is going to be absolute. And now there we can have it. We have it at the bottom. No, here we have it at the top. So we will fix it. I'm gonna just say left to 0, and you should understand that you have access to the left, top, and bottom property while you're just using position, absolute, and relative. If you're using a static position, you don't have access to the left, right, and the most important thing is that if you don't know how to position your the stuff or elements inside the web page, in a modern web page, you know nothing about the CSS, and you can design anything. So you can design something, but they are not going to be responsive. So from the bottom, we're gonna set it to -3 pixel, and it's that's all. Now there we have it under this, but we don't want to then be under these links. We want to, whenever we hover on, we get this. So to do that, I'm gonna select the navbar. So here I'm gonna say nav, and whenever we hover on after that, we want to set its width to, here we're gonna set the width to 0, and here we're gonna set the width to 100%. Now if I hover on, you can see that here we have it, but it don't move exactly as the same as this one. We want to make it, so I'm just gonna give it a translation. I'm gonna say translation, and the translation is going to be 0.5 seconds. And now if I move on, you can see that it got that effect. Now we want to design and put our content in its position, and that don't look well, so I'm gonna say content, And what we want to do with content set, it's width to 100%, and it's position to absolute, and its top it's going to be 50%, and we're just trying to put everything to the center. So it's transform, translate y, it's going to be minus 50%, yeah. And takes a line to the center, align to center, and color is going to be white, and font weight is going to be bold. Yeah, here we have it at the center. We don't have to do anything else with it. This one and this p tag, we only want to design the buttons a little more. So I'm gonna select the button, and for the buttons here we have to give it a class if you have too many buttons in your web page, but because we just only have 2 of them, we don't have to give it a specific class. So I'm just gonna set its margin to 20 pixel, and its width is going to be 150 pixel, and its padding is also going to be 15 pixel from the top and bottom, and 0 from the left and right, and takes a line to the center, and border radius. All the time I mention it that I like giving border radius to everything, and its border radius is going to be 25 pixel, and its font width to bold, and font weight to bold, and its border it's going to be 2 pixel, and solid, and also black color. Yeah, it's looking like this. We want its background to be transformed, so I'm going to say background. Its background is transparent, and you can see that it's going to look like this. And we have to change its color. So before we change its color, I'm just gonna say white. Let's change the color, and we want to set its cursor to pointer, and also its position to relative, because we want to create a span inside this button. I will do it later, and that's all. So here I'm gonna create a span, because we want to have this hover effect on these. To do it, I'm just gonna come here and say span. Put a space here and say span, because I feel too lazy to type both of them. And I'm just gonna copy, copy, not cut it. Damn it. Copy. Oh God. Control C. I press Control V to replace of Control C. So I'm gonna Control V it, and nothing gonna change because span gonna do nothing for us. But here we will do. So from the button, I'm gonna come here and say button, and from the button select the span. And in the span, we're just gonna set its position to absolute, because we set the first one here, its position to relative, and we're gonna relatively put these things, these stats here. So I'm gonna just set its weight to 100% again, and if I just copy and paste this, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna set a background to it, and its background is going to be black, and border radius to 25 pixel. And its left, it's going to be 0. I told you to have access to the left, right, and bottom, top. If you just gonna use the position relative and absolute, and at bottom it's going to be 0. I really encourage you to go and learn about the no, Steve it. They are not going to be a pair. Why? They should be here. So it's because Position absolute, width to 0. So width, did I give it a height? No, I didn't. So I'm gonna give it a height to 100%. Oh, what I was talking about. I really encourage you to go and learn about the positioning, because if you don't know, you can't design a responsive web page. Here you see it that it got in front of the button, so I'm just gonna set its z index to -1, and that's going to go behind the text. And for now, we're just gonna get rid of the width, so I'm gonna say 0, and we don't have it. And here we want to, whenever we hover on this span, on this button, so I'm going to say button, and whenever we hover on, do something with a span. What we want to do with the span, just set its width to 100%. Now you see that we have it. So here I'm going to give it a transition, so I'm going to say transition, and its transition is going to be 0.5 second. Make sure that you put this S at the end of it, else it's not going to work. So I just got rid of it, and if I move on the cursor, nothing gonna change. But if I put the second, see that we have this lag. But you notice that here at first at the start, it is not 25. It don't have the border radius of 25 pixels. So I'm just gonna come here and say overflow to hidden. So I'm just gonna say what we wanna say, overflow to hidden. Now if I move my cursor on, no, nothing changed, because this span, we want to select the button, not this one. So in the button, I'm gonna come here and say overflow to hidden. Yeah, I think that is done. God help me to get everything right. Yeah, it's looking the way that we want to. So that was from our tutorial, and if you just give me a thumbs up, nothing gonna decrease from you. You're not going to lose your money. Don't be so greedy to don't hate that subscribe button to my channel, and also give me a thumbs up, because it's just gonna propose my video for more pupils, and they're just gonna watch my videos and enjoy watching my tutorials, and that way you help a human to gain some money from YouTube. So take care of yourself, and bye.